Vegas currently has the Pistons at 27 and a half wins for the year. So, Adrian, what are you expecting to see from this Pistons team? And you like the over or under on the 27 and a half wins this year?
To answer your first question, I did watch a little bit of media day. I'm a dork, so I watched a lot of teams media day yesterday. I actually watched the whole Dame interview, but Vegas has them at 27 and a half. I expect, especially with the elite coach that they got, which was probably the biggest acquisition of the offseason, and Monty Williams, I think he'll hold these guys accountable. K's already said he likes what he's hearing from Monty and what he's seeing. I believe the Pistons will go over 27 and a half. I'm going to give them about 33, 34 wins, possibly trying to compete for that last spot in the play-in. They can't be no worse than what they were last year. You got another year. You got another year of Jalen Duren. Him and Cake are on the pick and roll. Bogdanovich. They'll probably trade him at some point in time. I'm very interested to see what I get from Ausar Thompson. Can he show the ability to shoot the basketball, and what kind of defense will he give? Ivy's going to be a better player. He essentially got a free trial at point guard last year. Pretty much let him do what he wants, so he can only improve. He's got explosiveness. I like this team. I like them going forward. They're young. Now they can finally build together. As long as everybody stays healthy, I think we'll see a lot of up and up from them this season.
Yeah, I fully agree with Adrian. I was going to say 32 games, 32 to 34. So I think last year the whole thing about them so many games winning so little games, I think it was a tank situation. I don't think Cade's injury was as bad as it was made out to be. I do think he could have played partially into the season, unlike they said he was able to. So I think they were just trying to get Wemby, realized they got screwed, didn't get him. I am interested to see what Ausar is going to do. He looked very athletic. That's the thing about this team right now. These young guys are very athletic. Ivy is explosive. Ausar showed that he is explosive in summer league. Duren super explosive. He's a big body. He's still young. I'm a big James Wiseman truther. Don't ask me why, but I would like to see what he does this season. And but I think they got to figure out a way. They can't run the double bigs. They can't do Duren and James Wiseman. So it's going to have to be some form of Cade, Ivy, Bogey, maybe Stu, but I don't even really like Stu and Duren. But you can't run the two bigs. Ausar, I think, is going to start his career off the bench to begin with because they don't really know his spot. Unless Monty figures out what he can do with him, maybe putting Bogey at the 4, but that'd be really short at the 4. I don't know. Could be a lot of small ball with Duren hanging out. He obviously shows the ability to shoot too, so Duren has that going for him. And like Adrian said, I mean, I watched a little bit of media days. We might be NBA dorks, I don't know, but
definitely.
It's like the Dan Campbell effect with Monty almost. I mean, I know Monty was hesitant to come here at first, and they rolled out the bag for him, but these young kids look like they're buying in, and they're fully like ready to buy into Monty's coaching and his experience. So yeah, I have high hopes for him, man. Hope they can try and battle for a play. And if they win 34 games, I'm gonna have to be happy with 34 games. You know, it's better than 16 or whatever, 14, whatever they had last year.
Yeah, 17 last year. 27 and a half. I'm going under. I'm giving them 25 wins, man. I want to see the Pistons do well. I think they got a lot of good talent. I just think they're such a young team right now. As far as in the East, I don't think they're better than Milwaukee. I don't think they're better than Boston, Philly, the Cavs, or the Knicks. So that's 5 teams right there I would put in front of them. I think Brooklyn. You don't know if Atlanta or Chicago could potentially be better. Who knows? Like you were saying earlier, Indiana could be a sleeper team. So, I don't know. This Pistons team, you got a first-year head coach, Monty Williams, who's a good coach, don't get me wrong, but it's his first year. Got a very young nucleus. I think they'll be trending up. I think they'll win more than 17 games like they did last year. They're not going to finish with the worst record in the NBA, which they were just tanking for Wiyamba. But, I'll give them 8 more wins this year. I'll give them 25, but I think they're going to be on the outside looking in. But I do think they're going to be trending up, though.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll make a point.
My biggest gripe, and obviously they don't need a shit. They don't need a rush to build. You've got to see what you have. Ausar if he can shoot. which the main thing they needed going into this was 3-and-D. We were talking about that. He showed he was defensive as hell during the summer league. I just kind of wish they would have gotten a guy that filled that 4 spot. It would have made me feel a lot better, and not just going and picking up Joe Thomas or who is the guy from Brooklyn that they got?
Joe Harris. Yeah.
Joe Thomas is the offensive lineman for the old Browns offensive lineman. I just think, I don't know. You picked up him. Obviously, it was just like a cap filler, or like he's going to be off the books after this year. You got to trade Bogey. Maybe you can trade like Killian. Hopefully Killian can like revise his role that he had last year, where he kind of was looking 6-man good player. Maybe you could package him in Bogey and get someone. I don't know. I wish they would have done more in the offseason, like try to get that 3-point shooter.
Would you trade some of these young guys for James Harden?
No. I don't want anything to do with him.
No, absolutely. I was going to piggyback on what you said, Reid, because you kind of went right into my point. Like we were talking about, the biggest thing we know the Pistons lacked was shooting and athletic ability. So they got Duran, which I think is untouchable. So there's going to be a couple of things they're going to have to explore depending on how the season goes. You know, they need some shooting as well. So you got Harris and Bogdanovich on expiring contracts. You just gave Beef Stew a contract. You don't know what you want to do with Killian. So you're going to have to package. You're going to have to figure out how to package some of these guys together to get you a 4 who can stretch the floor. That way they can play with Duran, and then have Wiseman come off the bench. And then you can have your guard rotation of Asar, Jaden, and Cade. Maybe Asar can play the 3 if he learns how to shoot. But those are things you're gonna have to get. You're gonna have to get spaced out, because I don't think that Duran, Wiseman, and Stewart can all coexist. I don't think you'll be able to get the best out of all 3 of them on that roster together, because there's gonna be a guy who doesn't play.
Yeah, I was just gonna try and look up maybe some guys that you could trade for, but it wasn't loading up. But you need a trade for a 4, so got to be within.
Jeremy Grant, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to see Jeremy Grant back again. Maybe if Portland's going to get rid of him for, pretty cheap, then I'd take him. I'd maybe call him and see if you can get. I don't know if because it's in division, but Lauri Markkanen or someone like that. I don't know. You're going to try and trade. You got to try and might have to get rid of my guy James Wiseman. I mean, I don't know. Someone big, not very talented defensively, but he has potential. I guess that's why I have such a big heart for James Wiseman. He has like the craziest amount of potential. He just doesn't crack into it. Hopefully, Monty brings it out in him.
They just need somebody who's going to come right in and contribute right away. It's going to be an immediate impact. That's the problem. We have enough young guys to where we got to develop that, but you need a guy who's going to come in and give you a 4-man who can shoot 35% from 3 to make it respectable. That way K can get in the paint and make some magic work.
Hey, I'd hit up Toronto, see if Siakam's available.
Yeah, I mean they have to. I think he's a free agent after this year, isn't he? So I might call him and see what they'll take for him. I mean, they already just, they were part of another trade, so it's just yeah, absolutely. I'd call him. That'd be a perfect fit. What about? I think this guy's not a super sexy name, but what about a guy like Harrison Barnes? Maybe you could just trade package some 2nd-round picks and pick him up.
Yeah, they won't give him up. They like the way he's
could have had Christian Wood, but I don't know how much I don't know how much he would have been worth it. Christian Wood again, another. I guess he doesn't really need to be defense, much as I'm praising 3-and-D, but All
right, we'll have to make this contract work. Siakam's 29. He's in the last year of his deal. He's gonna make almost $38 million this year.
Sure, if you traded let
me make it work.
Wiseman, you can probably trade Wiseman. He's probably one of your more expensive contracts because he got signed right before
he got
traded.
Bogdan's making. If you want to make this work, you could probably try to package Bogdan and Joe Harris. That's 39 right there. Or I forgot we got Marvin Bagley as well, who's never healthy.
Yeah. I always forget about him. He's probably playing the 4. I add him into the talk.
Well, Wiseman's making 12.1. Bagley's making 12.5. Joe Harris is making almost 20, and then Bogdanovich is making 20. So you can package a couple of these guys together, and make something work. Killian's only making 7.4. So if Toronto really wanted to do it, I think they could, but we would have to kind of enticing. You probably have to throw maybe a pick in there as well.
Yeah, for sure. I like that Montre Morris signing, bringing him back home as well too. That was a good signing right there.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, yeah, it's going to be an interesting season for the Pistons. Troy Weaver said he intends for all 82 games this season to be relevant. So we'll see.
He was hanging with Dan Campbell, by the way, too. So maybe Dan Campbell will help give him some, give him a little magic on his shoulder, So